You gotta love the ingredients we're working with today. We've got some green cooking bananas here, an onion, scallion, some fresh thyme, pumpkin, sweet potato, eddoes, Mr. Scotch bonnet, some garlic, even your regular potato too. Everybody getting some love in this dish. But ingredients like that, guys, you know it's a soup. We're making Soup Saturday. Boy, I love me some Caribbean traditions. You know, every Saturday on the islands you're gonna find soup being made all over the place. Be it cow heel, chicken, beef, all kind of nice soup. But today we're using, what's the culprit down there? I've already have it trimmed, washed. I have some lemons in there, and I washed it with some lemon and some water. Guys, chicken feet. In the Caribbean, as we've discussed before, we like using the entire bird. And not just bird. You look at pigs, beef. We use just about every part of the animal. And that's one of the things I'm seeing. The shift is towards using the entire animal throughout the world now, if you look at global cuisine. Chris here at CaribbeanPot.com, guys. This recipe was requested time and time again. It is not necessarily one of my favorites. I'll drink the broth, man. Chicken foot soup. Guys, you're gonna love this one. Welcome to my kitchen. Here we go. I've got a nice wide pan here on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna go in with about a tablespoon or so of vegetable oil. And right away I'm gonna go in with one chopped onion. Just want to give it a fine chop. And this is just a little bit different than the way it's traditionally done in the Caribbean, because I'm starting off, I want to build on those flavors. I want to get some of that lovely flavor from the onion, and I've got some garlic here as well. Just going to move that around. And let that sweat, turn the heat down to low and let that go for about four minutes or so. Next up, we're going to go in with some fresh ground black pepper. Some fresh thyme, and these are still on the twigs, but later on we can remove that if we want, or you can strip the little baby leaves off there. It's totally up to you. And one scallion that I chopped up. Want to give that a stir in there, and our heat is still on low because the whole idea here, like I said, is to build flavor from the bottom up. Let that go for about another minute, and then we'll start adding the other ingredients. Next up, we're going to go in with those chicken feet. And I just want to point something out to you guys. You need to trim the sort of, and it's a little bit disgusting, but you need to trim the sort of like the nails, like the tips of the chicken feet. Cut them off and discard it. And these ones here, for some reason, they always come cracked in the middle, but the ones you're using probably won't be cracked. So this is why you will see like bruise marks on there. Now we need to braise these a bit to get them nice and tender. So I'm going to turn up my heat to high, and I'm going to go in with hot water. We want to cover it. After all, it's a soup we're making. Remember, don't go too high with the water. Remember, we're going to be adding all that pumpkin and potato and carrots and all that. But bring that up to a boil and let that go on a sort of a rolling boil for about 25 minutes or so before we start adding the other vegetables. It's been going now for about 10 minutes or so, and you're going to start seeing some scum on the top there, some frothy stuff. Skim that off, toss it out, it's no good, we just want to get rid of that. Over here I have all of my vegetables all peeled and ready. All I'm going to do now to help to maintain its nice color, so it doesn't discolor and go black on me, I'm going to top this with cool water and set it aside until we're ready to add it to the pot. You will notice that the green banana, the eddoes, potato, everything are pretty much uniform in size except for the pumpkin, which I cut up a little bit smaller. I want those to melt away to give the soup a nice rich color as well as texture. If you want, you can certainly add yams, dasheen, cassava, just about anything you want to the soup, but for now I'm just going to top this with water and let that continue going over here. It's now time to start adding those vegetables to the pot. Just want to be careful when you're adding these to here. And guys, remember, You'll need a big pot. I'm using a fairly small pot here just for presentation purposes because I need a wide pot, but you'll need a nice big soup pot. You'll want to bring that up to a boil now, and then we're going to start adding some more flavor to here. Because remember, we haven't added any salt or any scotch bonnet pepper. Boy, you know you have to add the Caribbean sunshine. Bring it up to a boil, and then we'll do some more things to it. We have a nice bubble going, so I'm just going to reduce that now to medium heat. And we still have our friends at the top here, so all we're going to do is skim that off. We don't want those impurities messing up with our nice flavors. So all we're going to do is pretty much skim that off down the sink. And I'm not going to be using any salt at this point. What I am going to be doing though, Mr. Scotch bonnet pepper, guys, you can plop this in whole. You're going to get a lot of flavor from it. Don't break it if you're scared of the Caribbean sunshine. I want that raw heat. And this is not a fully developed pepper, so I can go in with the entire thing, seeds and everything. And what I mean by a fully developed pepper will not be as soft, it will be thicker skin, and it will either be yellow or red. These are green still, so it's not as hot. A lot of flavor in there. And I'm going to go in, you know, as a Trinbagonian, we love our Maggi. So I'm going to go in with a nice Maggi cube, actually 2 Maggi cubes, and this is why I'm not adding any salt to this as yet. Later on, I will taste it, because these things have a lot of sodium in there. So what we're going to do is break that up, add it into the soup. I've got 2 of them, like I said. Later on, we're going to taste it for salt, because this will have a lot of salt already in it. The other thing, my Trinbagonian people, we're famous for using salted butter in our soups. We finish it off with salted butter. So again, that's another sodium level element there. So we really don't want to add any salt at this point. Looking nice, smelling good. Boy, there's a wicked thing happening here. Just gonna continue cooking that now until all those vegetables are nice and tender. And boy, it's a wicked chicken foot soup. You know, smell-o-vision, everybody talk about smell-o-vision. It's so cliche, kinda. It's overused, but boss, I'm telling you, if there was smell-o-vision right now, you guys will be wanting to dive straight down in there. It's been going now in total for about 50 minutes, 50 minutes. It's all done. Remember, at this point, check it for salt, adjust accordingly. And also, if you want to add flour dumplings, I ran out of room. My pot just simply isn't big enough. And honestly, I'm too lazy to make flour dumplings, but flour dumplings would go in here. 1 cup of flour, a pinch of salt, and some water. Make it into a dough, and then you'll pinch off pieces and put it in there 10 minutes before the soup is done. Chris at CaribbeanPot.com. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. Chicken foot soup. It may, I mean, if you wasn't brought up in the culture, it may seem a little bit strange to you using the feet of chicken, but the flavor and those bones, boy. Always a pleasure to have you guys here in the kitchen with me. I use that Maggi chicken stock cube. You guys can use any sort of chicken cube you want. I mean, let's say if you want to use chicken stock, the liquid instead of water, you can certainly do that. But give it a try, man. Remember, click subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and check CaribbeanPot.com for my latest cookbook. Guys, it's out and it's ready to be shipped to you. I'm real proud. Have a good one, guys. Remember, CaribbeanPot.com for that cookbook.